Rolls-Royce is one of the most luxurious and expensive car brands in the world. But behind the prestige of the name lies an incredible story. The company was not built by aristocrats or men of wealth, but by Henry Royce, a boy who grew up in deep poverty with almost no education and who began life working odd jobs just to survive. Yet, through relentless determination, he would go on to create one of the most iconic names in automotive history. This is the story of how Henry Royce went from rags to riches and how his partnership with Charles Rolls gave birth to a legacy that still defines luxury to this day. Chapter 1. Rags to Riches. Henry Royce was born in 1863 into a family that struggled from the very beginning. His parents ran a flour mill, but by the time Henry was 4, the business had gone bankrupt. The family moved to London in search of work, and Henry was forced to take his first job at an age when most children were still playing. He earned just a few pennies scaring birds from farmland. Life became even harder when his father died when Henry was only 9. With no father, no money, and no chance at school, young Henry had no choice but to work full-time. He sold newspapers, delivered telegrams, and did whatever odd jobs he could find. Many nights he survived on nothing more than bread soaked in milk, and the malnutrition he suffered left him with health problems for the rest of his life. But even in those desperate times, Henry showed signs of brilliance. His aunt managed to scrape together enough money for him to join an apprenticeship with the Great Northern Railway. Though the program lasted only 3 years before funds ran out, Henry discovered his passion. He was fascinated by tools and mechanics, and even as a teenager, he was building small, beautifully crafted models. When the apprenticeship ended, he took on low-paying factory jobs, saving every coin he could. He pushed himself further by taking night classes in electrical engineering, determined to make something of his life. By the age of 19, he was chief electrician at a company in Liverpool. For the first time, Henry felt he was climbing upward. Chapter 2. The First Business. But progress didn't last long. In 1884, the company went under, and Henry was left unemployed again. This time, he refused to let fate decide his future. Instead, he chose to create his own. With only £20 to his name, Henry partnered with Ernest Claremont, who had £50, and together they launched F.H. Royce and Company. The two men lived in a single room above their shop in Manchester, surviving on little more than sandwiches as they tried to bring their ideas to life. Their first breakthrough came with a simple electric doorbell. Customers loved it, and soon demand spread. From there, they built generators and even cranes, pushing themselves to design better products year after year. By the late 1890s, their business was thriving. Orders had grown into the tens of thousands of pounds, equivalent to millions today. The boy who once had nothing was now a wealthy man. Both Henry and Ernest even married sisters, Edith and Minnie Punt, cementing their partnership as both business and family. But for Henry, success in electrical goods was just the beginning. His sights were set on something much bigger: automobiles. Chapter 3. Rolls meets Royce. In the early 1900s, cars were rare and unreliable, but Henry Royce was captivated by them. He bought a second-hand French car in 1901, and though it barely worked, he repaired it within a day. Soon he was improving designs and eventually building his own. By 1904, he had produced 3 cars known as the Royce 10. One of them ended up being driven by Charles Rolls, and that meeting would change everything. Charles Rolls was Henry's complete opposite. Born into wealth, educated at Cambridge, and known for his daring adventures, Charles was a man of privilege. He had already set land speed records, flown hot air balloons, and was one of Britain's first aviators. Despite their different worlds, Rolls and Royce shared one passion: cars. When Rolls tested Henry's creation, he was astonished by the engineering. He quickly proposed a partnership. Though they came from different worlds, one a self-taught engineer from poverty, the other a nobleman with money and connections, they formed a perfect team. Royce brought craftsmanship and precision. Rolls brought marketing genius and access to Britain's elite. Together, they created Rolls-Royce. Chapter 4. Building an Empire. Their first car together, the 10 horsepower, launched in 1904. Only 16 were ever made, but they became the foundation of a brand that would soon symbolize luxury. In 1906, they unveiled the Silver Ghost, a masterpiece of engineering. To prove its smoothness, they placed a cup of water on the engine while it ran. Not a single drop spilled. The stunt was so astonishing that the car was dubbed the best car in the world. Rolls-Royce was becoming unstoppable. But behind the success came tragedy. Charles Rolls' love of aviation led him to attempt daring flights, and in 1910 he died in a plane crash at just 32 years old, the first Briton to die in an aircraft accident. Henry Royce, meanwhile, worked himself to exhaustion. Years of malnutrition and long nights took their toll, and his health deteriorated. Yet even from his bed, he continued sketching designs, refusing to let illness stop him. During World War I, Rolls-Royce entered the aviation industry despite Henry's earlier reluctance. Their Eagle engine powered nearly half of the Allied planes, further cementing the company's reputation for precision and quality. By the 1920s, Rolls-Royce cars were in such demand that customers faced a 3-year waiting list. Every car was handmade, a tradition that continues even today. Chapter 5. Legacy and Lessons. In 1930, Henry Royce was knighted for his contributions to engineering, a recognition of the extraordinary journey he had made from poverty to prestige. Just 3 years later, at the age of 70, he passed away. True to form, he was still working until his last moments, sketching designs from his deathbed. The legacy of Henry Royce and Charles Rolls lives on in every car that bears their name. Rolls-Royce is now worth billions, but beyond the wealth, the brand stands as a symbol of excellence, luxury, and perfection. Henry's personal philosophy summed it up best: strive for perfection. Take the best that exists and make it better. If it doesn't exist, create it. His life is a reminder that no matter how humble your beginnings, with determination, skill, and an uncompromising pursuit of excellence, you can build something that changes the world. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration of the titans who built modern America. Thanks for watching.